They say there's a small gland hidden deep in your brain, no larger than a grain of rice. Yet ancient yogis believed it's the seat of your inner vision, the bridge between the physical and the divine. Science calls it the pineal gland, but yogis call it the Ajna Chakra, the third eye. And if that's true, this tiny gland might just be your personal cosmic antenna. Stay with me till the end of this video. If you close your eyes for a moment and bring your attention between your eyebrows, you will feel a subtle pulse, a gentle pressure, a still point. Yogic texts say this is where perception begins to shift from the sensory to the subtle. Sadhguru once said, when your energies reach the pineal gland, clarity dawns. You see life as it is, not as your mind projects it. It's not about seeing visions or colors. It's about perception becoming boundless. The mind turning inward and tuning to frequencies beyond thought. Modern science knows the pineal gland as the regulator of circadian rhythm, the biological clock that tells you when to sleep and wake. It secretes melatonin, a hormone that controls your body's response to light and darkness. But in yogic sciences, this gland does far more than control sleep. When your energies rise, this gland can become active in ways that transcend biology. It's said to release amrita, the nectar of immortality, a subtle secretion that stabilizes the system during sleep, during deep meditation. This isn't poetic symbolism. Advanced meditators have described a tangible sweetness dripping in the back of their throat when they enter higher states of consciousness. In ancient India, sages understood the human body as a cosmic model, a microcosm of the universe itself. Every chakra corresponds to a certain dimension of existence, and the Agna or pineal region is the control tower. When a yogi's energy rises to this point, he doesn't see the world through his senses anymore. He perceives it through resonance. It's like tuning a radio. Once you reach the right frequency, you don't imagine music, you receive it. That's why yogis say meditation is not about visualization. It's about becoming still enough to receive what already exists. Now think about antennas. They don't create signals, they capture them. Similarly, your pineal gland doesn't generate divinity, it receives it. When your inner system is still, when your breath slows, when your thoughts fall silent, this gland begins to resonate with the geometry of existence itself. It picks up subtle vibrations, energies, impressions, even memories carried in the space around you. Sadhguru once remarked, if you simply learn to be still, the entire cosmos will reveal itself to you, not through belief, but through experience. That stillness in yogic language is the activation of the Ajna Chakra, the awakening of the antenna. But here's the tragedy. In most modern lives, this antenna is jammed. Poor food, restless sleep, excessive use of screens, and constant stimulation flood your body with toxins that calcify the pineal gland. Spiritually speaking, when this happens, your perception becomes narrow. You live trapped in loops of thought, emotion, and identity. You see only what's necessary for survival, not what's possible for liberation. That's why yogic lifestyle, pure food, early morning sunlight, and meditative stillness were never superstition. They were tools to keep your inner antenna clean, alive, and receptive. Unfortunately, in popular culture, the third eye has been reduced to fantasy, something mystical, even spooky. But for a yogi, it's a practical doorway. When the pineal gland becomes active, your perception shifts beyond the linear sense of time. You begin to experience moments not as a sequence but as a total field. It's said that true vision doesn't come through the eyes, it comes from stillness. When the Ajna Chakra is awakened, life unfolds like a silent movie, every frame connected to the vast intelligence behind creation. Imagine a moment when you are completely still, not asleep, not distracted, just aware. In that space, your breath slows, your thoughts fade, and you sense an invisible pulse beneath existence. That's consciousness touching its source. Some yogis describe this state as being plugged in. They can sense things before they happen. They feel a tree's energy, a person's emotion, or the rhythm of the planet's heartbeat. It's not magic, it's perception beyond the filters of thought. And it all begins in that tiny gland, waiting silently to awaken. Modern researchers have started exploring quantum coherence in brain cells. The idea that consciousness might operate like a quantum field. If that's true, then the pineal gland, with its crystalline structure, could literally act as a receiver of subtle frequencies. Ancient yogis didn't need microscopes to know this. Through stillness, they discovered that the brain is not the source of consciousness, it's the instrument of consciousness. Science studies the radio, yoga tunes into the broadcast. So, what happens when the pineal gland fully awakens? You stop searching for the divine because you become it. The boundary between inner and outer dissolves. Time slows down. The vastness of existence enters your awareness as effortlessly as breath. Sadhguru once said, when you awaken your third eye, you don't see gods, you see truth. That truth is the realization that the universe isn't out there somewhere. It's vibrating within you, right in the center of your own skull. The pineal gland isn't just biology, it's your cosmic receiver, your antenna to the infinite. But remember, no practice can open it for you unless your life itself becomes an act of balance, purity, and stillness. So, next time you close your eyes in meditation, remember you're not going inward, you're reaching out into the very fabric of creation. If this exploration moved you, stay tuned for more such journeys within. And if you want to keep divine into these hidden truths, subscribe and stay connected.